Hello friends, welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to study the concept of shear stress and complementary shear stress. In the previous topic, we studied the bending stresses which is developed in the beam because of the bending moment. In that, we have studied the theory of simple bending or theory of pure bending. So in that case, we have only consider the bending moment, and because of that, the bending stresses are generated. So now, in this particular topic, we are focusing on to the shear stress. That stresses are generated because of the shear forces. Okay, so in this particular today's topic, we will just try to understand the concept of shear stress and complementary shear stress. So this is the first slide. So all you are knowing that in the first unit we studied that shear stress which acts the tangential to the surface of the material. Okay, the stresses which is acting tangential to the surfaces of the material. When a beam is in pure bending, the only stress resultant are bending moments, and the only stresses are the normal stresses along acting on the cross section. So this means that whenever there is a pure bending is there, in that case there is a resultants are only bending moment, and that stresses are we called as the bending or that normal stresses. Okay, because on the surface that stresses are normal. Okay, however, most beams are subjected to loads that produce both bending moment and shear forces. So we are knowing that almost all the beams are subjected to loads which are having bending moment as well as shear forces. Means the two types of the stresses are acting, that normal for the because of the bending moment, and the shear because of the shear forces. Okay, normal and shear stresses are developed in that particular beam. Now from figure you can see there is a right hand side, there is a figures are drawn, the 3D figure as well as the two-dimensional figures. In the figure there is a tau which is the shear stress distributed uniformly over the right hand face. So in this particular figure you can see on the right side, left side, top surface, bottom surface. Okay, so in the shear stress which is distributed over the right hand side, for the equilibrium in the y direction, the total shear force, which we know that shear stress multiplied by cross sectional area acting on the right hand face. So we can determine the shear force acting on the right hand side, which the shear stress is known, cross section area is also known. So we can determine the shear force which is acting in the right hand face. So if you want to balance this shear force, there is equal and oppositely direction shear force. It should be act in the opposite direction. Means this is the right face and this is the left face. In the left side also there is a equal and oppositely act balance shear force should be there, so that this particular block is in equilibrium. So in the right hand face the direct shear force is shear stress again multiplied by cross section area on the left side. So left side and right side, so there are equal and opposite shear stresses are acting. Since the areas of these two faces are equal, because we know that the area is same, actually this is a two-dimensional figure, but the thickness of the block is considered as a unity or 1. That's why the area is also equal. And then shear stresses on the two faces, and because of that the shear stresses on the two faces left and right are also equal. Next, the forces acting on the left and right hand side forces form a couple. So we have determined the force which is acting on the left side, force which is acting on the right side. The magnitude of these two forces are equal but direction is opposite. Means these two forces form a couple. These two forces form a moment about a z-axis acting clockwise direction. You can see in the left hand side there is upward force, and in the right hand side there is a downward shear force, and it forms a couple about the z-axis. For equilibrium of the element, this moment must be balanced. So whatever this clockwise movement is there, this moment must be balanced, and for balancing we have to apply a moment which is anti-clockwise. So for balancing the clockwise movement we have to apply the exactly opposite equal magnitude anti-clockwise. So for the equilibrium of this element, this moment must be balanced by equal and opposite moment resulting from the shear stresses. Now left right, it creates the clockwise movement. So now we have to consider the bottom and top face. You can see bottom, there is a right hand side force, and the top there is a left hand side force. So it again, these forces are equal, and in the opposite direction again it forms the couple. So now in this case this couples is in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so for balancing, this couple is very much important for balancing of this section. Okay, so therefore the corresponding horizontal shear force is equal to shear stress multiplied by cross section area. It forms a anti-clockwise couple. So clockwise couple, it balances the anti-clockwise couple, and then we can say this particular block is in equilibrium. Okay, now we have following observations regarding shear stresses acting on a rectangular element. Shear stresses on opposite faces of an element are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. And shear stresses adjacent, so you can see there is adjacent shear forces also there. So this adjacent, that forces are perpendicular. So this is perpendicular shear force, but their magnitude is also equal. So there is equal in magnitude. Next, here it is. You can see the concept of shear force, shear stress. Now suppose that the two beams, you can see there is a simple support beams is there, but there is an extra beam is added on the top. It is rest on the top, means there are two beams are there whose height is small h, and they become a, and these two beams are glued or joined together with the help of glue, and it becomes a single solid beam. When these beams are loaded by force P, then the horizontal shear stress must develop along the glue surface. So there is a joint surface, it is called as a glue surface, in order to prevent the sliding. So this glue, because of this glue, this joint or this particular surface are perfectly joined with the help of glue, and there is a stresses are generated, which is a horizontal shear stresses, which are prevent to the sliding of the two surfaces. And because of the presence of these shear stresses, a single solid beam is much stiffer and stronger than the two separate. So comparatively the two separate beam, this it become a single solid beam because of this surface are joined together, and it's bear the maximum, or it bears the more shear stresses than a two separate beam. Okay, it is a stiffer and it is a stronger. Now let us consider a rectangular block here. So this is a concept of complementary shear stress, which is means what we will study. Consider the ABCD block. Assume set of a shear stress tau of opposite direction as displayed in the figure is applied over a surface of rectangular block A, B and CD. Now if you consider a effect of set of shear stress tau of opposite directions, we can easily say that there will be a zero net force acting over a rectangular block, but there will be one couple acting on a rectangular block in the anti-clockwise direction. So you can see in the figure there is a set of the shear stresses. So there is a one set is, you can see there is a tau is the one set, and tau dash, that is the left and right side, there is another set. Okay, so again we have to maintain this particular block is in equilibrium or in the balance condition. So in order to maintain the equilibrium of rectangular block, there must be one more couple of similar intensity acting over a rectangular block in the opposite direction, in the clockwise direction. So there is a this particular set of the shear stress tau, it forms the anti-clockwise couple, and it should have the one more set which form a couple clockwise, so that this total block is in equilibrium or in the balance condition. So for that reason there is a clockwise direction, therefore there will be one more set, that is a tau dash of the same intensity acting two opposite faces. You can see tau dash acting in the opposite faces of a rectangular block, and side AD and BC. Their sides are AD and BC, and the shear stresses, the set of that shear stresses are termed as complementary shear stresses, because it useful for forming the couple in the clockwise direction, okay, to maintain the equilibrium conditions. So this type of the set of the stresses which we have to form, it is called as the complementary shear stresses. Therefore we can say that according to principle of complementary shear stresses, a set of shear stress acting across a plane will always be accompanied by set of the balancing shear stress of similar intensity across the plane and it is acting normal to it. Now this is a small derivation of this complementary shear stress so that we can prove these are the complementary shear stresses are needed. Let us consider that thickness of the rectangular block. So this is a two-dimensional figure. So thickness normal to the plane of the paper is unity or 1. So you have to consider the thickness of these sides, or we can say the block, it is 1 or unity. We have applied the set of the shear stress tau and set of the complementary shear stress tau dash. So now we have considered one set is the shear stress tau and another set which is called as complementary shear stress, it is tau dash. Let us determine the force acting on the surface AB and CD of a rectangular block. So now we can determine the force acting on AB and CD. So now there is a AB and CD, there are two faces are there. So force acting on AB, very simple, that stress acting and the area. Okay, the stress is tau, area is AB into 1. So AB is the side and 1 is the thickness. So that's why area can be calculated AB into 1. So tau AB is the force. Similarly, direction of the force tau AB acting on the surface AB will be towards right. So direction of this force is towards right. So you can see AB, the force acting in the right direction. And force acting on the surface of CD, similarly, so tau CD into 1, again tau CD, and the direction is towards left. As these two forces, this tau AB and tau CD, are equal in magnitude and acting opposite in direction. Therefore, these two forces will develop one couple. So you can see in the figure, AB force in the right side, CD force in the left side. That magnitude is equal, but direction is opposite. It forms a couple. It forms a anti-clockwise couple, anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so couple developed by this set of shear stress tau, it is equal to tau AB BC. So couple developed by this set of the tau, it is tau AB force into perpendicular distance, that is tau AB BC. Similarly, couple developed by complementary shear stress, again similarly for complementary shear stress, the force is tau dash ABC, tau dash BC, and their perpendicular distance AB. So this is a couple or moment developed by this complementary shear stress. So now in order to balance the rectangular block, couple developed by applied set of shear stress tau and couple developed by complementary set of shear stress tau dash must be equal. So in order to balance or in order to maintain the equilibrium condition, so whatever the couple developed by set, one set, that is a shear stress set, it should be balanced by complementary set of shear stress. So we have already determined the set complementary, that is a couple of one set, that is a shear stress, and couple of complementary set. So that should be, if you want to in equilibrium or in balance condition, that should be in equal. So you can say that after solving, you will get that tau is equal to tau dash. Therefore, we can say that from above equation that a set of shear stress acting across a plane will always be accompanied by a set of balancing shear stress. One set is one of the shear set of the shear stress, but for balancing purpose, for maintaining the equilibrium purpose, one more set is used in the opposite direction. That set it is called as the complementary shear stress, or it is also called as the balancing shear stress. So from that we can form a equal magnitude but in the opposite direction, so that our block is in equilibrium condition and which is of a similar intensity across the plane, acting normal to it. So this is the concept of complementary shear stress and only the concept of shear stress. So this complementary shear stress is very much important for the equilibrium condition, and for the balancing purpose this complementary shear stress is used. Okay, so thank you for attending this today's session. Thank you very much.